The quality of your business comes down to the quality of your offer. And every single time we work with people who are in any phase of business, the people that actually make it to where they want to go sooner, faster, and more profitably are the people who have what we call an irresistible offer. A perfect future customer mix desk. Whilst you might say, hey, listen, Rana, I know who my perfect future customers are. And by the way, business owners are not a niche. I want to show you, I'm going to use LinkedIn as an example right now. So if you have LinkedIn in front of you, please get it up. Let's have a look and let's dive in. I'll show you some tricks and tips of how we can find your perfect future customer. What we call fast filters. And all I want you to do, you'll see that you've got a T, you've got an I, and you've got an L. So all we want to do is draw a line around the T, draw a line around the I boxes, and draw a line around the L boxes, okay? So right now in front of you, you've got 3 boxes, okay? Let's show you how to find your perfect future customer base. Now you might have worked with people of all different types, of all different titles, of all different industries, fantastic. But what got you here won't get you there. So we need to really get clear right now about the type of people that you want to serve so we can build up a very clear and specific community that is really dialed in to the offer that you have, because it's usually a problem that they need. The more problems you try to solve, the more work it's going to take for you to get interest, okay? So first things first is we want to look at title. What is the title of your perfect future customer? What do they call themselves? And I always think about it as in filters. Filters, and I'll share with you in a second why this is important. A title is not burnt out business owner. A title is not a wealthy entrepreneur. They're not titles, they're descriptions. Titles are CEO, CMO, life coach, accountant. What do they title themselves as or label themselves as so that you could identify if they are part of your tribe or not? For example, if I work with business coaches or business consultants and someone says, I'm an engineer, purely I can say, I don't necessarily work with engineers. But if you want to be a consultant and you have an engineering background, we can talk. But I only work with business coaches and business consultants. How about you? So you might say, Rana, last couple of people I worked with a lawyer, perfect. I've worked with a life coach. I've worked with a business coach. And I've worked with a HR officer. They're the people that have bought from me before. For example, what are your filters? Who are the type of people that you could help? What title do they give themselves? Write that down. You can pause the video, by the way, if you want to. Otherwise, let's keep moving on. The next thing is the industry. Industry is really important because we try to understand what industry could you be the expert in. Like, I'm an expert inside of the marketing industry. I work in marketing, or I work in human resources, or I'm an oil and gas expert, or I'm a building and construction expert. I'm a manufacturing expert. Sometimes we can become experts, not just in the titles of who we help, but the industries that we specialize in. So you might say, I work in sales. I'm a sales expert. Or I'm a oil and gas. Or I'm a legal expert. Or I'm in health. Okay, cool. What industries could you be the expert in? So the title and the industry, if you can connect the two, you're going to have more affinity. And more affinity means more engagement. It means more like evangelism. People go, yeah, that's me. I'm a lawyer that works in sales. No, but you can say, I'm a lawyer, right? I work with lawyers. Are you a lawyer? I'm a lawyer. Perfect, let's connect. The last part is location. Now, location is becoming less and less relevant, but sometimes it's still very important, because what was local before becomes national, and what's national becomes now international. And ultimately, the borders between our businesses are gone because of digital connection, social media, what we're doing right now. And so what I'd say is, what would be some locations that you could work in? For example, for us, we work in Australia, we work in the United Kingdom, we work over Europe, and we obviously work in the USA. Shout out to you if you're in any one of those places. And what I do is I just map these all out, and then I go through a process, right? And I run them through what we call our filters. I just call it like our fun filters. Our fun filters is, you see that there are some boxes here in each, boxes within boxes. Okay, all I want you to do is run through some filters and just tick some boxes. So if I asked you this question, firstly is, which one of these titles, industries, or locations brings you the most joy? Happiness, suits your lifestyle, suits who you want to help, suits how you want to work. It just suits you. And you might say, well, lawyers, I don't really like working with lawyers as much. They're a bit slow to return calls, blah, blah, blah. By the way, if you're a lawyer, just this is riffing. I like working with business coaches. Life coaches I don't mind working with. They're really good. They want to help people. HR officers, not really. Industries, love working in sales. Health is good. Oil and gas, not really. Legal, not really. Australia, love working in Australia. US, probably more West Coast. And the reason why I say West Coast is purely because of time difference. It suits us better because we're located in Australia. UK, not as much. Europe, not as much, just because of the time zone. Now, I'm just designing the business around myself. So that's who I want to help. So I look at that and I go, great, that's what I've done. Perfect. Next one that we want to go through is we want to go through who, listen to this one, who would get the most benefit, as in who could you help get results for the fastest? Who would get the most benefit working with you, or who could you help get results for the fastest? So I look at it and I go, the most benefit for me is business coaches. Look, I could probably get results pretty quickly for a lawyer, I'd say. Life coach, not as much. HR officer, not really. Sales, yes. Legal, yes. Health, yes. Results for, just purely because of support and time zone, I'd say it's UK, Australia, and US. And then I might go, great. So I've done it. See what I'm doing? I'm narrowing down the selection. And the last part is most profitable. As in, who can afford to work with you? Who has the money to work with you? And you might say lawyers, yes. Life coaches, not really. Business coaches, probably. HR officers, yes. People in sales, yes. Legal, yes. Oil, gas, yes. Health, sometimes not really. Australia, yep. Economically, that's good. US, I've got a lot of clients. UK, yep. Europe, not so much. And I'm just ripping, by the way, but you get an idea. Now what I want to do is go through which titles actually had the most ticks. And I just want you to circle them. Grab a big fat pen and circle them. So I might go, look, for me, my perfect future customers are business coaches that specialize in sales, that live in Australia or the US. And I just write that down here. My best audience for me are business coaches that are in sales, that work in Australia or West Coast of US. Now, as you do this, I want you to think about something. Does it mean that I can't help a business coach that works in another industry? Not at all. In fact, I look at it and I go, I wouldn't limit myself to sales. If you're a business coach, I could probably work with you because we're probably industry agnostic. But for the sake of the demonstration, I just wanted to share with you how you could really get a clear PFC, perfect future customer. And so what we do is, if you're ready, you can jump into a little thing called LinkedIn. Would you like me to show you how we can search for these people? This is a little tutorial. We go through this a lot more in our program, in Expert. So what we do is jump to this little thing called Sales Navigator. Now, if you do not have Sales Navigator, get Sales Navigator because it's a great tool. And if you're really conscious about growing your business, you want to set yourself up with all the tools that you can for success. That doesn't mean you get all the widgets and shiny objects, but go to Sales Nav. And I'll share with you how we can do it if you don't have Sales Nav, but you still want LinkedIn Premium. Okay? Sales Nav. Look how cool this is, right? So I can go into Sales Nav and there's a little thing here called lead filters. I click on lead filters, it opens up a world of filters. Now I can go through the filters that I've just gone through and I can go, great, job title, business coach. Awesome. Now, do I need to go through the industry? As I said, I don't have to, but if I wanted to, I could. And you would say, well, what kind of industry would they be in? Here, under personal, you look at industry, and I could look at sales. I don't even think sales, could you believe it? Sales isn't even an industry. How ridiculous is that? But I might say marketing, for example. And so I'm looking for business coaches who are specialists in marketing, and you'll see I've only got 592. Wow, that's so low, right? We want more than that. So what I might do is I might take out the marketing side of thing, look at business coaches, and then I'm like, oh, I've got 95,000. Fantastic. Now we go to geography, and geography is just above this. By the way, this changes where these things are, but for the sake of this, it's right here today. We want to go Australia, and we want to go California, for example, right? West Coast. Let's try it. And I go, look, I've got 8,000 people. Bang, 8,000 people I can work with. Now, if I wanted to, I might add business, and you guys can play with this, business consultant. Boom, business consultant, here it is. 47,000. Now the problem with that is that, are they all business owners? I don't know. Consultants can be everyone from everywhere doing things. So you can search that. I can search seniority level. I can search owner, which will bring it down a lot, because a lot of people don't necessarily put owner on their profile. But again, we're moving into LinkedIn. I don't want to go too much into this today. That's what we cover in our programs. But for the sake of this, you could even Google LinkedIn, how to use Sales Navigator, right? So the next part of it is, if you don't have that, all you want to do is go to search and type in business coach. Just type in the title and just press enter. It doesn't really matter. You're going to get a bunch of people. Again, it doesn't matter. The reason why we do this is because what it does is it gives us those filters. They're just not as good as Sales Nav. So we just go to all filters, click on this, and then you can search for some things and you can filter it out. The reality is, team, is that if you're looking at that and you've seen this and you go through the search and you've got less than 1,000 people, you're probably too niched. If you've got more than 1 million people, you're probably too general. I say you want to find an audience of anywhere around about 15 to 100,000 people is probably a really good niche. Because if you look at that, you've probably got more lead opportunities than you'd ever need if you were to get 100,000 people into your business. That's all you need is the LinkedIn side of things, right? That's why we use LinkedIn. It's why we advocate for it. It's why we build businesses around that as a marketing tool. It's a database. The quality of your business comes down to the quality of your offer. And every single time we've worked with people who are in any phase of business, the people that actually make it to where they want to go sooner, faster, and more profitably are the people who have what we call an irresistible offer. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're in finance, IT, management consulting, marketing, sales. At the end of the day, you're always selling someone something. And the quality of the product or service that you're selling comes down to how you articulate it and present it.